Good morning, everybody. This is your boy Jeremy with Team Stats and Stacks. I apologize for the late video coming in this morning, but last minute had some things come up. Wound up playing some golf yesterday. Wasn't expecting to do that, but um, otherwise had a great day in college with everything in the Discord. I know I didn't make a video, but we wound up, and I need to start showing receipts at the beginning of these videos, so I'll make sure I show everything from the past week or so that I should have shown. But I mean, even if you go back to that Thursday night game video we did, we hit 4 out of 5, and I mean, even if you really on Garrett Wilson on that under 5 pass completions, if you watch that video, the more I debated on it, it almost seemed like I even actually took the yardage, said to take over on his yards. So either way, 4 out of 5 for a free one, I'll take it all day. I mean, Stroud got under his completions. Schultz got under his completions. Uh, and then Rogers obviously just barely got over his completion mark in that game. It was just a weird game overall. And obviously, the running back for the Texans, I called that one, but I think that really that one doesn't count. That was a no brainer there for Mixon. We all knew that was going to be a Mixon game, and then kicking, I Fairburn. Honestly, over 1.5. That was a Green Goblin, so no brainer as well. What I wanted to do though is give you guys a few quick picks, just things that I looked at that just seem like they look good. They just popped out to me, and I'll obviously have some more in the Discord later this morning as we get closer to kickoff for NFL Sunday Week 9. So thank you for all that are watching, and I'll go ahead and just get into the picks. I mentioned it in the last video, and it's not even an option anymore. It's just, but I liked Amari Cooper under receiving yards, so your chance to get that one is gone now. But you might can find that in a different, something besides Prize Picks. I do a lot of Underdog, and then there is fantasy. You got Chalkboard. There it just depending on what state you're in. I really wish I could get Fanduel, to be honest with you, but I can't right now. At least, hopefully, I'll get to over here to Georgia sooner than later. But go Dogs. Anyways, I was thinking too, obviously, just kind of obvious stuff like field goal kickers in the Cowboys Falcons game. I like that longest FG combo, and I like maybe if they have it in that Saints Panthers game, maybe not the Saints Panthers game, but if you can take a game, the common strategy there is just find games that have low over unders. It's supposed to be low scoring games. And I mean, if you can find one in a dome, and then what I do is I'm just trying to teach you here what I'm doing is Google and kind of find or you can go to NFL.com and it'll show you, how many kicks each team has had, or the kicker, and how many in the length and how many they've made. So, I mean, if you see they have to make over 48.5 yards, and then their kicker, both teams kickers have already kicked 3 or 4 50-yarders, and they're heck, if they're 3 for 4, I mean, that's a go to me. I mean, I'm not saying to put that as your anchor in all your plays, but I mean, I think it's a solid pick, and it gives you it's not a goblin, but I'm surprised. I've noticed Prize Picks has slowly gone up on the distance on the ones that they think, and we've missed a few times, I'm not gonna lie, where we've been just short by a yard or two on a field goal made. But anyways, another one that I really did like Pitts over 48.5, but I'll be darned, man, there's 153,000 people that are betting on him right now that I'm looking at. So I don't know if the more popular it gets, because it was at 48.5, now it's up to 49.5. So one thing I did, I guess I was going to say I did was just kind of looking at, I was thinking I think Saquon is a great play today, but what I would probably do with him is go with his passing and his rushing. I mean, it's not a whole much, it's not much more. I mean, look, he's been a beast all game. I mean, as long as Jacksonville doesn't just magically find a way to stop that, I don't see them stopping him. I just don't see it. So that would be my first pick. TJ Hawkinson, he flew off the radar to me. He's been, I mean, if you look at his numbers, he has been on fire. Um, I mean, honestly, I'd be willing to take his goblin too, because if you look, I mean, he's hit the goblin. Now, granted, he might be due some regression, but I mean, that's a later game too, so that's something you can think on as well. I don't, the 59.5 is a stretch, but I mean, even if you want to go with his they even gave him a goblin at 24, like. I mean, if nothing else, you can put him up with something else that you really like and get a 2.5x. So that's up to you though. But I really do. As far as a tight end pick, I don't think you can go wrong with him. Your obvious running back picks. I mean, I like the Barkley yards, but I also like if you want to take his touchdown, he'll find the red zone. I really like Bijan as a as a Falcon fan, but I mean, I think to be honest, against Dallas, I don't know this game for some reason. I feel like the Falcons we might wind up playing down. Now, granted, the Dallas Cowboys played great against the 49ers in that last game, so they may play down, but I still think Bijan finds the end zone. Now, does he find it two times? I don't know. I'd feel better, and again, you can say whatever you want about doing the Goblins, but I mean, a win is a win is a win. Even if it's 2x. 2x is better than me throwing you a six-leg pick that hits zero or honestly hits 3 out of 6 and you don't make anything. I want you to make something. So, I mean, I'd suggest doing a 2x, and I think people in my Discord would, agree that going that way is a better route a lot of times, and just keeping it safe. Double your money up. I mean, 50 to 100, 100, 200. I mean, bankroll. We teach bankroll as well in there, so to manage that. So, anyways, continuing on. I know I'm rambling. I'm almost done. I kind of like Prescott over the 2.5 touchdowns. Just being a Falcons fan and just watching them, our defense is hard. It's not good right now. I don't see it getting any better today. I kind of think this game's going to turn into a shootout. So, in an argument with that too, you could. I mean, for QB, if you like Cousins, I mean, I think CeeDee Lamb's going to have a good day. It's kind of like if Dak has a good day, CD, it's probably because CD had a good day. We just don't. We do have Jesse Bates back there in the as far as a cornerback, but we're just one of those all defenses right now that where if we're not unless we're making turnovers, we're just getting eaten up. And it felt like the last game we played against a Buccaneers that didn't have Mike Evans or Chris Godwin. That game was way too close. I mean, we were even allowing them to eat us up on the run, and also obviously Cade Otton, which I mean, really against Kansas City. I don't think Cade. I mean, depending on again, this is a Monday night game, so consider that too. You might compare this up later, but I think Cade Otton could be a good pick if maybe they get Godwin or Evans back, which I don't, I'll be honest, I need to be better on who's coming back and what and not and who's not. So I I'm just kind of playing. I'm behind the eight ball with this video, you guys. So I do appreciate y'all bearing with me here. But another one that kind of caught my eye was Daniel Jones. His completions. It just caught my eye because there was a trend there. He had done so many completions, pass completions, but now it was 21 and a half. So I kind of like the pass completions under now. That makes me think that there's more people taking that, and somebody thinks, enough people. But one thing that I've heard from I mean, I'll shout him out. His name's Captain. Um, he's made some really good points about that if you see a pick you like and it winds up on this board a lot of times, especially I mean in the NBA it's poverty, but to be honest, I mean looking here, I'm not. I'm gonna put Kyron Williams and Derrick Henry in a play. I mean, I'm sorry, but there's a reason. There's a reason a lot of these plays are hot. But you also have to remember there's a lot. You just have to be careful. You can't just assume like, okay, well everybody's throwing their money. I don't know, something that just scares the bejesus out of me with that Kyle Pitts now. So, anyways, and Saquon's up there, and I'm telling you to take his rush and receiving. So, but I do think. I mean, some Gibbs or Montgomery's going to fall in the end zone again. I mean, that's in one of the picks that I've got. A quarterback one I'll give you really quick. Let me remove some of these just so you can kind of see. Let me remove some of these no-brainer ones. And then I'll wrap this thing up. And then I'll plan to make another video for you guys that that is the Monday night only. And then we'll talk. We're going to start talking more NBA too because we're starting to hit a lot more of those in the Discord as well. Again, receipts are coming. I promise. I feel bad for not having them in this one, but time is just not going to allow me to. But Nick's under on his passing yards. I know you can tell me Baltimore is the worst and all the passing yards allowed, and you can tell me Bo Nix just had his best game. But I just have a feeling like now, because if you look at all of his other games, I mean, 206 and 216, okay, 164 against a New Orleans defense, and then 284. So the way I look at this and this is a way I would try and teach you to think. He just had this a huge game in reference, for him but it's against Carolina. So 284. So, that brings his average up over the past few games. But look at that Jets game. And the Jets are, a good D, solid D. The Chargers, honestly, I don't know what happened to that game because that game seemed like it was under control. And then the Chargers just were the Chargers. So really, I mean, Las Vegas defense isn't great in Carolina, so New Orleans 164. But we have an advantage here, in my opinion. He just kind of went outside the mean with that Carolina game. And after Baltimore got embarrassed by Jameis Winston and the Browns, I just don't think I don't see Bo Nix going over on that pass yards. Even if you want to do again now, I don't like you could look at pass completions and I would definitely could factor researching that in. He's probably due for a pick, but again, like the pass and rush, I kind of like that too. I mean, he looks like he ran he ran for it too, really good against the Chargers. So maybe just stick with the pass, but it because running is his thing. So, anyways, I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. I know I've been rambling on now, and I will have more picks, and that's really I know what you guys want to see, anyways. You didn't come here necessarily to hear me ramble. I'm just trying to give y'all some ideas. Jared Goff, think he might be due for a solid game against Green Bay. But I mean, those running backs, I like Jahmyr Gibbs, St. Brown. That's a pretty steady one right there. I'm surprised that's a red goblin. Um, Vegas, I feel like Vegas just knows stuff we don't know. AJ Brown, I don't know about him to be honest. I'm Devontae Smith has seemed to have been the favorite target as of late. If you go back and you're looking at outlier, but I'm not going to get into all that. But thank you for watching. Please do like and subscribe and share the video if you don't mind. It really helps with the algorithm. And leave a comment. Leave a comment even telling me if you think I'm doing something crappy or if I'm doing something good or whatever. I don't care. But please leave a comment. Just let me know what you think. Your input means a lot to me, and I want to be better at this and be able, provide a better, experience for everybody. And I want everybody to learn something, and I'm still learning too in a way. So please do not hesitate to leave me a comment. I appreciated it in the Discord yesterday for everybody. Just for an example, and I made a comment in there, and for everybody that reacted, I mean, I gave them a winner. It was like a 2.5x winner, but I mean, it was a free winner all day that I didn't give to anybody else. So, um, again, thank you for watching. The Discord's where everything mostly happens. It's free. We do have a premium option as well. But what my point was, like, even in the free section, a lot of times they do get premium, picks as well. So it's not like I'm just I'm not funneling you into the free one just to get you into the premium. I mean, I think if you get in there and you look at the history of the channel and you see all the picks that I've been giving out, you'll see what I'm talking about. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys have a blessed Sunday, and I will look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.